Hey y'all, it's Kathy Bo. I had to record a video early because there's a lot of steps in it, and it's pretty much a very basic video with a beautiful card at the end. So if you would please watch the video, enjoy, subscribe, you know the drill. And us makers, y'all, we sadly depend on those likes and subscribes and shares because it's something to do with algorithms. I don't know. I had my algorithms tested and I'm not normal yet, so I need your help. Anyway, here comes the video. Thanks so much for hanging out. Please do subscribe, share, all that junk, okay? See you in a sec. So I'm going to show you everything from cutting your card base to stamping to stenciling to I don't know what else. But anyway, here we go. Here we go, y'all. We're going down to the desktop because we can. All right. Okay, here we are. So, y'all, first of all, I want you to see this. I refer to this all the time. Now, if you've got your first card measurement, which for an A2 card in the US, it's 5.5 by 4.25, your card base. All right. Everything from there on is just a 1/4 inch less. So you start with 5.5 by 4.25 for your whole card base, and then you drop down. See, it says 5.5, 4.25. You drop down to 5.25 by 4, 5 by 3 3/4, etc., till you get down to itty bitty. Okay, but if you want to have a very slim background, you're going to want to go 1/8 inch down on your first layer, or however many layers, y'all, however many. Okay, all right, so I'm going to show you basically what we're going to start with. This is basic white cardstock. It's called Basic White Thick, and it is by Stampin' Up. Do you have to have this? Why, no, you don't. But y'all, Stampin' Up's got it. They've got a scientific thing going with their cardstock and their inks. So I do try and stick with Stampin' Up ink on Stampin' Up cardstock, unless it's Tim Holtz, and then all the rules change, and I just have fun. All right, so this is my Stampin' Up trimmer. It has a little bar out here that folds in nice and neat, okay? And it's going to show me that this is, and I already know, an 8.5 by 11 sheet, because that's how they sell them, y'all. 8.5 by 11. So here we are at 11 inches, right there, okay? And over here we are at what? 8.5. All right. So my card base needs to be 5.25 by 5.5. 4.25 by 5.5. So I'm going to take the long side, the 11, and I'm going to cut it at 5.5. Actually, wait, I'm going to score it first. I'm going to score it on the narrow side, which is the 8.5 side over here. Put this away. I'm going to score this. I've got 2 blades on this fancy contraption. I got one that cuts and one that scores. Okay, so I'm going to use the score blade, and I'm going to go to 4.25, which is half of 8.5. Don't be impressed. That's all the math I know. Okay, just going to score that really well so we have a good fold. Okay, and then I'm going to go to 5.5 right here. That is going to cut this in half and give us 2 card bases. And again, this is the Basic White Thick cardstock from Stampin' Up. It's probably 110 pounds. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. But I know it's more than 80 pound cardstock. This is my bone folder, and it's really good to have one of these. It's a very useful tool for a lot of things, and I just always reach for it when I'm trying to get a good crisp edge on my card base. Okay, I've already cut my card base. It's over here, and I will show you next. Now, I did tell y'all I'm using retired ink. Retired stamps and everything from Pinkfresh Studio. Let me move this guy over just a little bit. There we go. From Pinkfresh, right? Well, my inks are also, several of them are retired because I'm not just going to go out and buy all the new inks, right? Okay, as are other supplies such as this rectangle stitched framelit dies. Um, I don't need to keep buying different shapes or whatever when I've got some that work, right? These were Stampin' Up. They were in the annual catalog in 2022 and 23. They were $35. Then they were retired in 24. So they would have gone out with this last catalog, I believe. Okay. So let's see. We're going to start out with our stamps. And Stampin' Up! Has a stamp positioning tool that is ridiculous. It's wonderful, y'all. However, they were no longer allowed to sell it, and as much as I love it, I'm just going to use the Misty. This is called the most incredible stamping tool invented. I think it's what it says. But y'all, here's something I love about it. Up under here is scripture, and it is 1 Peter 4:10. It says, "As each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace." I like that, y'all. I like that because I love scripture. Okay, so what I've done, I've gotten my stamps. Let me see if I can find the little. Well, I don't have the package right here, but these are the stamps that I took off this group here. In this particular set, it's called Beautiful Blooms, again from Pink Fresh Studio. We've got this group here, and it's all one big stamp. And then we've got this group, which I've already put over here on my positioning tool. And it's got these flowers. And y'all are like, I know what those flowers are. Well, guess what? I don't. So I'm just going to say these are pretty flowers. And this says, thank you, miss you, just a note, hugs and smile. Okay, so those are the sentiments you can use. Unfortunately, I need a sympathy card. So this Misty has a grid on it, and you just stick your stamp down. This is a photopolymer stamp, so I've got my cushion in here. If it was a red rubber stamp, I would remove the cushion because red rubber has its own cushions, right? Right. So you see where it's going to go, right? All right, it appears I kind of need to put that there. Let's see. Okay, now why do I need, and this is $69, y'all. No matter how it shakes out, they've got 3 different sizes. I don't need 3 of them. I need 1. And this is what I use. 69, I think it's $69.99 on My Sweet Petunia is the I think that is the name of the website, My Sweet Petunia. It is. This is their glue hickey thing that I'll be using too. It's a little glue gun kind of thing, and you just you refill the little. Come on out. You refill the little thing, and I actually watered down some glue, so it's going to be a hot mess if I forget that I did that. Okay, so I put my stamp here, and now I'm going to, why am I using a stamp positioning tool? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. Because you'll be able to see probably when I go to ink this up and stamp it down, I'm going to need to make more than one stamped image, okay? All right, so let's see how it looks right here. And this is what Gina K calls. Gina K is a stamping company and also a person. She has beautiful stamps and dies. This is what she calls a Chucky tool. Well, my friend made this for me. My friend Deborah. I think Deborah made, yeah, Deborah, or did she have it made? I'm not sure. Y'all, it's a Yankee candle with a little bit of washi tape. It's a Yankee candle lid. All right, you see the little screwy things with glitter inside, and then this felt pad like you put on furniture. All right, and you just use that like this, and that saves your hand from getting all cramped. Okay, this is a pretty good image, but I do want it darker. So without moving anything, this is the beauty of the stamp positioning tool, particularly the kind like this that open and close. all right, is I haven't moved my paper. I haven't moved my stamp. I'm going to go back down and bada bing. Okay, pretty good, right? Let's turn it this way so you can see the correct way it's supposed to look. Okay, now just move these little guys off. And y'all, these magnets, they do want to be the boss of you, but they don't have to be. They don't. The magnets, you just don't want them to touch. I kind of keep mine separate like you do with the kids in the car, you know. Put the big kid in between the two little ones. I don't know. I only had 2 kids, and they could reach each other in the back seat, and they fought like cats and dogs. And guess what? They're 39 and 43, and I'm not sure it's any better today than it was back then. But it's not my problem, right? They're grown. Let them be grown. They don't really fight now, y'all. They just don't really agree with one another, which is fine. They don't have to. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. Okay, maybe a little. All right, so I'm just going to peel this up. You see it's one big floppy stamp. Now, could I cut it apart? Why, yes, I could. And I almost did before this live, and then I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, we are going to stamp again, but it's not as serious. It's not as serious, y'all. As a matter of fact, let me put this back on its little page. Because if you put it back, then you don't risk getting it filthy dirty with a bunch of whatever's on your desk, whether it's lint or glitter or whatever, right? Not really filthy dirty, but you know what I mean. Okay, we are going to use another stamp. It says with sympathy. Y'all, this is a very old Stampin' Up! Set, but again, why am I going to keep buying more? I have one that says with sympathy. Boom, I'm going to use it. Stampin' Up! No longer uses this green banner. They use a black banner, which this is retired, but it's the black banner. This is a embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder. We're going to be using that. And then this best of greetings, y'all, it's the best. It's the best of greetings. So why not use it, right? Okay, and this one says with sympathy. So I'm just going to go ahead while I've got this out, and I'm going to stamp this. Now, this is a red rubber stamp, and you see it's got a cushion in it. So how am I going to do this? I think I want to go this way. Yeah, because I want to have enough to where I can cut it out. I did have some confidence that this would stamp well the first time, just because I've been doing this for a really long time. But that bigger stamp, nah. I want to use the positioning tool with that. Cleaning off this little stamp here. And y'all, this is just a towel. It's gross, but it's just a towel. I didn't get my cleaner cloths ready. I didn't do that before my video here. So I'm using what I got. Okay, that's done. Let's see. Okay, so now we want to start our stenciling. Maybe I want to cut that off. Well, let me go ahead and cut that off. I do have a small trimmer here that I love. It's just this little guy. We Are Memory Keepers has one, I believe. So you can look for one on Amazon that's super small. Okay, we're just going to get this little guy out of the way for now. Put him over here, just so he doesn't get involved in all the stenciling that's going to be going on. Okay, if you've never stenciled a card, you're going to enjoy the process. If you do stencil cards, you might still enjoy it, y'all. I don't know. I'm going to tape it down. This is a plastic coated surface here, so I'll just wipe it down with my baby wipes if it gets crazy, okay? Because it could get crazy. Now, y'all, Pink Fresh Studio, these stencils right here, I have numbered them. They are already numbered, but you can't really see them, so I wrote over it. It says stencil 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I just wrote the numbers on there. The top stencils on each one belong to the top stamps in the picture. The bottom stencils belong to the bottom ones. All right, so we're working with the bottom ones today. And I'm going to refer to this just for color placement. I'm not using these colors, but I'm just using it for an idea of the color placement. We have to move this for a minute. Okay. Now, y'all, and by the way, it is June 29th of 2024. And whenever you're seeing this, you may be able to find some of these products, but chances are everything is retired, and you can just look on eBay or Etsy. If you must have the same ones, you might be able to find them there. But you can also go to Pink Fresh Studio or Gina K or goodness, the Greetery. Y'all, do you know about the Greetery? My friend Deborah, who gave me that Chucky tool thing, she told me about the Greetery, and I've never been the same since. Okay, so stencil number 1. Oh, you know what? That wasn't the stencil thing. That's the die cut. Please hold. That's the stamps, and this one. Oh, I have no idea what I'm. Anyway, I've got all these packets for all the parts, but here we are. Okay, so I'm going to start off with blues. This is the flower that we're going to use in our card tonight. These I'm just going to go ahead and do because I can, and it will show you how pretty they are. Let's see, we want to start with a light, so I'm going to use my Seaside Spray. Is it retired? Why, yes, it is. But do I need 15 different blues because one is more current than the other? Well, no, I don't. So y'all, that's why I'm not too concerned about that. I do need to move this over just a wee bit, just a teeny. Come on. But y'all, this summer, I'm telling you, I don't know when it's ever been this hot. Like, I don't even want to go outside. And why would I? Why would I? I'm retired. I've had to go out in all weather for many, many years. And I am a writer. My career has, I've been writing for probably 35 years, maybe more. I don't know. I'll tell you a little bit about my career in a minute, but I also worked real jobs, corporate jobs, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, things like that. But the love is, now look at that. That other blue came out, y'all. I like that. It must have still been on my brush. I do wash these like every time, but apparently didn't get it done right. Okay, we're going to come in with, wait a minute. Nope, we're not either. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to do this one in Purple Posy. It says retired, y'all. Just get you a light purple. You don't have to have this one. Okay, so my get in the car and go to jobs. Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola. I did what I needed to do for my family at the time, and so when my kids were little, I also worked for the local school system. And that enabled me to be home with them during the summer, which didn't always work out because I got to grab a yellow. Because, it just sometimes doesn't work out that way, right? Actually, no, I'm not going to grab a yellow. I want the lightest, the lightest gray I can get. Because I almost want it to have a white feel to it. These are not light at all, but let's see if we can make them light. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. So yeah, so I did that while my kids were little, and just going to see right here. Okay, good, good. That's kind of what I want to do. Just enough to knock some white off. Okay. There we go. Just very, very light. So then I started focusing more on my writing, and I began writing for Savannah Morning News, a lot of their publications, including the Savannah, what's it called? Their magazine, whatever it was back in the day. You know, I'd go and do local stories for the magazine, stuff like that. And I also did some corporate work. Can y'all see? That's just a little not white. Okay, that's what I wanted. Phew, that was close. Had me a little nervous, y'all. Just a little bit nervous. Hang on, I got a little something on my brush that I don't want on my next stencil. All right, so we've done everything we can do on this particular stencil. Okay, I'll show it to y'all what we've got so far. See if I can zoom in here. There we go. I'm gonna keep it zoomed in too. But you see what I did here? I just didn't want it white, okay? I want it to look like, I don't know, I want it to look like we tried. Okay, now for the next color. Let's see, I've used Seaside and, oh, sorry, and Purple Posy. I've used those. So now we're going with these colors. Okay, and I'm going to put this one down. This is just some highlights for all the other little flowers. For all the flowers, just some highlights. Where did my little tape go? Here it is. Okay, so yeah, then I took on some corporate clients and I wrote for people all over the world. It was the coolest. One of them was the coolest job ever. Okay, y'all, we're coming in with a darker gray on these white flowers. Let's see where we are. Yeah. It was the coolest job. They had me, I'm not going to say who they were, but they were a kind of like realty people, but they were selling to the realty people all over the world. And basically my job was to define an area that they were publicizing in, they were publishing in, define that area's amenities, and it was for millionaires and billionaires. So where you and I might look for, you know, good public schools, these were looking definitely not public schools. Okay, they were looking at the private schools, the where you send your kid off to live there, that kind of thing, right? They weren't looking just for you know, the local place to work out. They were looking for homes that had the full thing of workout equipment, things like that. I mean, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But I loved that job. It was so much fun researching all that. People and places and things that were so interesting to me. I didn't desire them. I didn't desire to live there or even go visit or be a part of that community. It wasn't like that. It was just like, that is so cool just to see how other people do that, you know? So the millionaires and the billionaires, they don't shop for houses on Zillow, okay? Okay. All right, y'all. I don't know how we're doing. I really don't, but it's probably going to be okay. Let's look and see. I think we're good. I think we're good, y'all. We got more to go. That's just number 2 out of 4. Here's number 3. Oh, what are we doing here? We are doing some centers and some, the center of the flowers and some leaves. And I might just have just the right color for these. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Tape that down. And y'all, when I'm putting this stencil on here, I'm just looking at all the lines and making sure that they all line up well. And y'all, these companies have come up, like Sizzix has come up with a stenciling tool. You don't need it. It's like $59. You don't need it. You need a little roll of washi tape. That's all you need. That's all you need. I mean, I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you the truth. Yeah, we're going to use this. This, I think we're going to use this. We might have to go find us a yellow. We shall see. Let's see how bright that is. This is Lemon Lime Twist. Yeah, I think it's okay. We are putting that in the center of our daisies. I do know these are daisies, y'all. These are daisies. Now what? Okay. I think that's all we want right there. And then we want the lighter of these two, Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive. We want the lighter of these. I can use the same green because this is so much lighter. I would not put dark green on a light green, okay? But I would use a light green and then go into my dark. I would do that, which is what I'm doing. And then I'm going to go into the darker green, with the same brush, darker green here. So I did all that writing. Uh-oh, I went over the little one there. Didn't mean to. Be all right. So today, my work includes writing a monthly column for a small newspaper. And it's called Front Porch Stories. And I guess you could Google my name with Front Porch Stories. It's Kathy Bohannon, Kathy. But you can see right here who I am. Anyway, you could Google that if you're interested and read my Front Porch Stories. And basically, it's everything like from life lessons to faith-based writing. Y'all, I want to come back in with that lighter green again. This is just a teeny weeny. It says Spellbinders, so I guess that's where I got it. Just a teeny weeny little brush. I just want to get this back in here where I ran over it earlier. There we go. Okay. All right, so I got all of my leaves done. Boy, y'all, I got a bunch of inks over here, don't I? Okay, now we are going to get our last one. Y'all, it's getting pretty, isn't it? Isn't it getting pretty? I think so. We're going to use our last one right here. And let's see where we want to put it. Now, this is going to be the highlights on our green leaves. All right. I'm looking all over it to make sure that I'm kind of trying to stay in the line of the stamped image. There we go. See why you don't need fancy tools? You just need some washi tape. And if y'all don't know what washi tape is, it's this. It's just a low-tack tape that, now see, I'm coming in with my darker green. This is the Old Olive, and you're going to see it really pop, I hope. If not, guess what? We'll go back over it. But washi tape is a low-tack tape that it's just great to have for lots of different purposes with your paper crafting. you can actually just take it and put it as a strip across your project, and it'll look amazing. I do use mine typically to hold my cardstock down, but I also, when I take it off the roll, I will lay it against my clothing to get some of the tackiness off, even though it's a low tack. I want to do that so that, let's look real quick. Oh yeah, I think, oh, we might want a little darker. Please hold. Your call is important to us. Yeah, so okay, so my current writing, I'm writing for that paper, and I'm a blog writer, and I should be working on a book. I have friends who are like, "Why haven't you written your book yet?" And one of the books that I really should be writing is How to Start a Card Ministry, because apparently a lot of people want to do that, and they just don't know the ABCs of it. And my friend Karen and I, she's my sweet sister in Christ. We started a card ministry back in the day, and at our church, and then I moved away, and she keeps it going. And then I started a new one at my new church. Oh, y'all, look at that! Look at that! See the darker green? I definitely did need to go back over it a little bit, but isn't that beautiful? I think so. I do. I think so. Okay, so I always do this backwards. Yep, I always do it backwards. So we're going to try not to do that again. Hold on. There we go. All right, we'll put this back. Boop. Because that's the whole reason I do what I do, is to share scripture. John 3:16. Look it up. Look it up. Okay. So now what are we going to do? Well, we're going to cut these out with die cutting, with dies. Okay. And that's these. And these dies, they're as big as the stamp that we stamped, right? They're going to go right over the project like this. You're going to look at all the edges and make sure that you are not going to cut wrong. I mean, not like you're going to do it wrong, but what I mean is you want to be as accurate as you can, okay? I mean, it's a handmade card. Handmade is the key word, right? Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to some of this. Not all of it. Some of it. Okay, let's see. All right, now we're going to put this one back because we're not needing it today. We just don't need it. Now we are going to get our Gina K Intracut. INTRACUT. We're going to get that out, and we're going to cut these die these shapes. It's a little bit bossy. Okay, this is it right here, and I put the little Cricut guy on here. He's knitting, and this is my friend Tammy gave me this. It has nothing to do with the Gina K Intracut. I just love it. And the Gina K Intracut, I'll tell you a lot of things you don't need, but y'all, this is a great product to have. It's got little suction feet. Okay, I don't think you can see them. Yep, there they are. And then on the side, y'all, it takes all the guesswork out of your die cutting and your embossing. The plastic embossing folders that we use, they are they're different thicknesses, and most of these die cutting machines use shims, and this one does too, but you don't need all the shims. You just need these dials, and you change it to whatever product you have in there. So for example, right now it's set on the 2D embossing. We're going to turn it to the die cutting. Yep. Okay. And when you open it up, it's going to suction down. I'm doing this backwards, y'all, so it's a little hard. Okay. I'm doing it backwards so y'all can see what I'm doing. This shim right here is the one that you want to cut on. You do not want to cut on this one, which you see the cut marks. Yeah, somebody already has. Okay, it was me. All right, and then, so those are shims, okay? We are just going to, it is wiggling around, but it's wiggling around on my surface, not on my desk. It's moving the whole surface. Okay. My calendar just fell over. It's a little metal calendar. This is it right here. Dollar General. I love it. Okay. Oh, really? You gonna be like that? Hold on. There we go. Ain't gonna be the boss of me. Nope. Ain't gonna do it. Okay. So this is how this die cutting stuff works. You lift your die up. Boop. You take your paper off. Boop. Uh-oh. Hold on. We're tangled. We tangled up. There we go. And you've got your beautiful pieces completely cut rather perfectly, right? But wait, there's more. Okay, so now we're going to use this retired embossing folder. Okay, so I'm going to turn my dial here to the 2D. I'm going to use just this platform. Put it right there, and I'm going to get, oh, hold on, nope, I got to die cut something first. I forgot that part. Hold on. We're gonna die cut first, and then we're going to emboss, and you'll see why in just a second. Okay, so my die cuts are from, I showed you earlier. Let me get the little box. These right here, yes, they are retired, but again, I don't need to keep buying them if I've already got some, right? So these are the rectangle stitched framelits dies from Stampin' Up. I've already picked out the 2 sizes I need. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a window in our card front. All right, we're going to make a little window. Now I'm going to have to look at it for a minute and make sure I get it where I want it. I do want it toward the top, like this. And I've got to get some washi tape. See, again, this helps us hold things down. And if this was a very small piece of paper with a small die, I would actually tape it to this like that. All right, but I don't really need to because it's not going anywhere. All right, I'm putting my sandwich together. All right, and put it back on die cut because, you know, I forgot that part. And here we go. Okay. So now we have a little window in our card. Boop. Gonna gently take this off. This washi has been used a lot, but I still don't want it to fray the paper. Sometimes it does, y'all, because once it goes through the die cutter, it sometimes gets really pressed into your paper. So you just gently remove it. So this is what we have, okay? All right. Let's see now. We also want to cut out the sentiment, which is this with sympathy. Sadly, I need a sympathy card, y'all. Again, I'm going to position it, and I'll show you in just a second how that comes out. So just a moment for that. Here we go. Okay. And I'm using the same stitched rectangle dies. I'm just using the smaller one. Now the reason I'm die cutting before I'm doing the embossing is because this machine will flatten out your embossing. But the embossing will not affect your die cutting. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, this is what we have. Well, with sympathy. Beautiful. Now, you know what? While I'm doing this, I think I want to have a border around the sympathy. Let me just see which one might be the candidate. This one, I think. Uh-oh, hold on. I think that one is going to be the next size up. All right. We may or may not use this. Once we get it cut out, we'll see. We'll see how we like it on the card, okay? Okay. That's why this is a little bit longer video, because, I don't know, it just is, y'all. So here, I'm just going to put it on like this. And again with the washi tape. See, this washi tape, y'all, is worth its weight in, I won't say in gold, but it's worth its weight, I'll tell you the truth. There we are. We're ready to roll through. And this is the color we're going to be using mostly for our card. You'll see that in just a minute. If I didn't have this laminated doodly-doo right here, y'all, this thing would be stuck to the table like a pro. And this would not move at all. And that's a big deal. Back in the day when I first got into paper crafting, we used, my friend Heather and I used something called a Cricut, which is an electronic die cutter. Now let's see how it's going to look. Oh, y'all, that's pretty, isn't it? I do like that. Okay, we think they're going to work together well. So we used a Cricut, and there was a little die cutting thing. What was it called? I don't remember. But we used it, and we were always like loving it because it stuck to the table. Well, oh, we're not done. That's right. So we loved it, but y'all, they quit. Nobody else made them like that. So we were just kind of like, okay. So we bought Big Shots and stuff, and it wasn't great because it didn't adhere to the table like that. All right, this is the 3D embossing folder, and you can see how heavily textured it is. It's one of my favorites, y'all. And it's made by Sizzix. Now they probably don't have it anymore. Oh, well, they don't, because it was Stampin' Up. It's called Tufted Dynamic Texture Impression Embossing Folder, whatever. So I'm going to lay this on here. This is one we cut the window out of. And again, you do your die cutting first, and then you run it through this an embossing folder. You don't want to do the embossing and then the die cutting, because the die cutting will mess up your impressions with the embossing folder. I'm going to do this, run this through, and just because I can, I'm going to move that to there, because I think I want to run it back through and get a little heavier pressure on it. And we'll see. Here we go. Is that beautiful? Yes, it is. Y'all, I did a wedding card one time, and everywhere there's a little dot like this, I had a little pearl. And it's one of the most elegant cards I think I have ever made. And I loved it. Okay, so we're done with all of that part, I think. I'll probably come up with something else here shortly that I have to do again. But I don't know. Now, it is stuck to my table, so I've got to slide it off. It actually wasn't as stuck as it usually is. Okay, so Here's our card base. You know, we made that at the very beginning. Okay. And this is our 1/8 inch less around. So this is 5.5 goes this way, by 4 1/4 goes this way. So this is just 1/8 less all the way around. Okay. Now, y'all, I do remember I added water to my glue because I was having issues with the glue not coming out like I wanted it to. So we'll see what happens. It's a water-based glue. We should be okay, right? But because I did that, I expect it to come out with a force to be reckoned with. So here we go. I'm just barely pressing that, where before I was pressing it really hard. Okay, the fun part right now is you want to make sure which way your card opens, because how many times have we made a card like this, okay? So it's opening correctly if you want it to be a portrait card. Okay, now I am looking at all the edges, and because I've done this for 100 years, I know how to center it. Okay, basically I looked here, 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 and here, and up on the side, and just tried to get it just about centered. Now the beauty of it is I use liquid glue, so if I had to wiggle room, we'd be all right. This is going to be our next layer. Again, 1/8 difference. Do we want to take a little more off of that? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And this is a little cattywampus, but it's okay. I don't think anybody's going to care. But here we go. We're going to glue this down. This is actually taking less time than I expected, y'all. I think I might have knocked this whole thing out in an hour, and I thought it would be longer, which is why I did not go live. Because I don't go live on Saturdays typically. I'm just in my studio right now needing a sympathy card, and I wanted to make this one. I did make one the other day, and I'll show it to you in a minute. But for now, let's see. Oh, this was the inside. Now, what you could do, you could pop up the middle. Let me see if I can find one. Here we go. This is one I did a long time ago, and y'all, it's absolutely gorgeous. I actually took a class in Atlanta at a card shop called Impressive Ideas. You can see how this is raised up with dimensionals, okay? And they have colored the inside of this circle. So you could color the inside of this circle. You could raise up that panel and have that kind of an effect. But it's okay. We don't need to do that. We don't. Now let me find the pieces that we... See how pretty this is? Y'all, it's so pretty. Okay. Right now I do want to show you an alternative way to do this. I used craft foam that, honestly, I went back to Hobby Lobby today and I meant to buy more, but I forgot about it. It's probably in the kids' craft. I saw felt, but I didn't see the foam, and then I forgot about it. But it's just 8.5 by 11 sheets of craft foam. And what I did, I glued my my whole piece down. You know, when it looks like this, the whole stamped piece of cardstock, I glued that whole thing down. Then I came back with my my die, ran it through, and let me tell you, you're going to need a little extra shims, because even on the intracut, I had to run it a few times, and I got a pretty good cut. But this actually pops up off of your card. Okay, let me show you the difference. This is with the craft foam right there, pops up, and this is laying flat. Now I do plan to mail this one, and it's for a guy. Well, him and his wife. So I'm just going to use this, okay? But you don't always have to do it this way. You can use strips like this. That's a dimensional strip. It's a foam strip. You can use what Stampin' Up calls Stampin' Dimensionals, and they are adhesive on both sides, just like this. You don't need glue, and you just pop them on every little bit, and then you can make them stand up. But I really like this intricate cut. I really like using the craft foam. While I'm showing you that, I may as well show you all the other ones that I have colored and cut. This one, I actually came in and colored the background while it was still a big stamp, and I just kind of like it. It just kind of gives it a little like evening or early morning sunlight on it. That one's really pretty too. Here's another one. Some of these are foamy and some of them are not. And then, of course, we got the ones that we made today, which are here. Now, this is the same stamp. This is where I just took some white off. I added the gray to make them not white. But then I love them in this color too. And what I did here, I used Stampin' Up! Alcohol markers and just colored them in. And this is where I use the stencils. But this is just alcohol markers. You can kind of tell a difference in the strokes, the coloring strokes, that kind of thing. Okay, so just wanted to show you all the different ways you can do this. Okay, so we're just going to glue this guy down. And, here's the thing. You don't have to really worry too much over, oh dear, is this the right card? Is this the right color? You really don't. A handmade card is amazing. It's beautiful and people love it. And they're going to love it no matter. As a matter of fact, y'all, I want to tell you a little story about making a bunch of little things for my dentist office. A while back, should I tuck that under? No. Okay, let me get this centered on here and I'll tell you about that. A while back, I had some scrapbook paper, y'all, that I did not like. I didn't like it one bit. Nope, I sure didn't. We're going to zoom in so you can see this. Did not like it at all. So I decided to use that to make some little boxes for my dentist office, and let the ladies have a little something, right? All right, hang on. I need to cut this down. I think we're going to use this. So y'all, I made like, I don't know, a dozen or so. One for everybody that worked there. I called first and said how many people worked there. And I didn't love the paper, not one bit. But y'all, they were arguing over the paper. They were like, no, I want that one. No, I want that one. And I'm just going, that proved more to me than ever before that you don't have to love it yourself. The recipient is going to love it. You're going to do a great job making your card, but the recipient is going to love it, y'all. I'm testing this out. I'm interviewing it. It has a job interview. Now, first of all, I know it's too long. We have to snip. Okay, so instead of just random snipping like I am known to do, I'm going to make a tiny mark right there. Okay, and I'm going to cut this off. We're almost finished, y'all. Almost. We're in the home run stage. All right. Ninja Man's in here with me. If y'all hear him breathing, he had to go outside and get some things for me. And let's see. All right. Here we go. Yeah, so they at the dentist office, they all wanted different ones, and they were all so happy to receive them. And it did. It taught me a lot, that one little thing. And I credit my friend Christina Myers. I gave her some cards, some scrapbook paper one time. She's like, "Oh my gosh, are you sure you don't want it?" I said, "I'll be honest, I don't like it, not one bit." Y'all, she used that paper in such a way that I was like, I need to go buy that paper again. I didn't, but my goodness, she was so creative with it. It was a very busy paper, and instead of seeing the whole busy paper, she did little strips just to highlight the card she was making. I think we're doing this, y'all. Now, I say that, but I want to show you the difference. This, we don't need this. Really, we could just do this. Now, I got, y'all, that's a little cleaner, a little softer. Now I wish I was live so y'all could tell me what you prefer. And also, let me tell you this. You can go back into, where did I put it? Here it is. You can go back into your die cutting machine and you can lay this down just off of the earlier die cut, all right? You could run it through, take this off, run it through, and you're going to get rid of this edge, and then you're going to pull it this way, and you're going to run it through again, and then it would be just the right size to be just the tiniest border. Does that make sense? We'll do it. Why not? Why not? Let's just do it. Okay. These little grooves, they'll actually lock in for you. So I'm going to move this, and you'll be able to feel it. Well, you won't be able to because you're watching. But I'm just going to kind of, and if I get it right, then yay. But if I don't, it's not a big deal, y'all, because I think we like it. There we go. I think we like it without it. Oh, come on now. Okay, this might take too long, but we're going to keep trying because I really want you to see this. Come on now. Are you the right die that I used? I think so. Okay, we're going to try this. And this is a little die cutting machine right here. Okay. This one here is just a baby, but it's perfect for little things. It doesn't do a whole lot. Is that even? I think so, y'all. Hang on. I think it's a little bit off. There we go. Right there. Okay. So your die cutting, if I do this right, even if I don't, you'll still get the idea. But your die cutting sizes, they don't have to be exactly what they came with, okay? You see how much we cut off? Okay. Let's just see how close we are. Oh my goodness. It's like it was made for it. Let's get this edge off too. I mean, that to me is so cool that we can alter the size of these die cutting things. Now I do want it to fit on either the top or the bottom. Okay, and it's in the little grooves. If you can see that, it's in the little grooves. Hold on. Hold everything. Okay, it's in them. Now, if anything, it's going to be a little bit too long, but that's okay. That's okay. You can do this with so many different dies. Okay. I'm a little nervous, are y'all? Just a little bit. Let's see how it turns out. Oh, how about it's doggone perfect. But how does it fit with this? Hang on. Y'all, look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, that just happened to go really well on a live video. Don't be impressed. Don't expect it every time. because we got to have so many boo-boos in order to stay humble, right? Okay, now I'm going to glue this on again with my watered down glue, and I am using the Bearly Arts Precision Craft glue inside my little machine there. Y'all, I'm so happy with this right here that it turned out well. And I can scooch just a wee bit. See, I like that a lot better than that big one around it, right? And I hope that you guys will remember that you can alter the size of your die cuts. I mean, even this one, because I've got smaller ones in here, you can cut this down too. Same way. Same way. Right. I don't know why you're still over here, but you need to go back over here. Okay. Goodness gracious. Y'all. That is so pretty. It's so pretty. But because I was talking to y'all about foam dots, Stampin' Dimensionals is what these are called, because yes, they are from Stampin' Up. We're just going to go ahead and use some on this card. I'm going to use a lot. It's going through the mail. It's going to one of my bosses who has just had a loss. His aunt passed away. And I just want to send he and his family a little something. Now, we only have one left on here, but is that the end of it? No, it's not, y'all. You go ahead and use this too, okay? All right. Y'all, it's so pretty. The only thing would make this prettier is if I had heat embossed it, which is a different technique. If you join my channel, either Kathy Bohannon Creatively Blessed on Facebook and or YouTube, you'll be able to see all kinds of techniques that I use on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's see. See if that's even. Well, I want it a little higher up. I didn't stick it down hard yet, so I'm just kind of laying it there. And there we go. All right, so now I'm going to stick it down permanent like. On the inside, we could do anything. We could put one of these, which I'm not going to, but you could put a little flower there. You could put just the little strip. I'm going to do a little strip. Let's see. That's going to be just a wee bit too big. We're going to cut just a teeny off, and then over here, we're just going to do this, and that's what we're going to use. Now, at this point, it would be beautiful to run this through this right here, right? Would be so pretty, but we're not going to do that because it'll probably get flattened in the mail. Maybe not. I don't know. We're not doing it. I'm just going to put this here. And then there's plenty of room to write my sentiment on there. And on the back of it, I have, oh, come on. Well, I do have a stamp, y'all, but it's across the room, and I'd rather y'all not have to wait for me to unbox it and use it. So I'm just going to use my Micron, and I'm going to say, okay, Bo 2024 for Kathy Bo, because that's what everybody calls me, Kathy Bo 2024. All right, and there's our card. Now, one more thing, if you want to get, if you want to be extra, which most of the time I do, most of the time, you could take your envelope and stamp any of these images on the back. But I would kind of feel like I need to color them. Yeah, I don't think I'll stamp any of the flowers on the back. But what if, please hold. I'm going to try it, y'all. I'm going to try it. Oh, hold on. I mean, worst case scenario, I lose one envelope, right? But let's try it and see what happens. Don't y'all want to know? We're almost done. We're at the envelope portion. So we definitely don't want to hang up now, right? Just see. It's on the 3D, but I do want it a little tighter. So I'm going to go loop. All right. I turned that dial a little tighter. And now we're going like that. It didn't really do what I wanted it to do. All right, hold on. Let me double check everything. Oh, I think I had it on the wrong one. We'll see. Oh, you know what I did? I loosened it. Goober. Good googly moogly, y'all. Sometimes I loosened it. Okay, sorry, my arm was just huge. All in the. I'm so sorry. Because I was looking at something else. I was not looking at my arm. But y'all got to look at my arm, which is not great. Okay, there we are. There we are. A little messed up right there, but we can blame that on the post office, y'all, because guess what? Nobody knows. How about it? Why did I think turning the dial that way would make it tighter? Not true. That would make it lighter, looser. Okay, hold on. Good heavens to Murgatroyd. Okay, all right. We're back. We're back. Okay, so now we have our envelope with our matching card, or rather, matching envelope to our card. Isn't that beautiful? Now, one more little tip. When you go to put a card that has detail on it, which they're all going to have some detail, right? If you go to put it in your envelope this way, things are going to get all hung up. Flip it over. Now, some of my friends that send me a handmade card and has doodly-doos on it, like bling, little diamonds or sequins or anything like that, or raised up things like this, they'll lay another piece of cardstock over the top, okay, and mail it that way. And some of them will fold this over and put it in. And I think that is brilliant, okay? But if you're just going to do it, just mail it, you want to put the business side facing down, and it slides in beautifully. Right? Y'all, this is so pretty. I just wish that was a little different, but it's okay. It's okay. It's the newspaper, not the newspaper, the post office fault. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Pink Fresh Studio, it is retired, but do go look at their goodies. They've got such beautiful things, as does Gina, Ginak. Stampin' Up has some pretty stuff too, y'all, but I've got enough. So thank you guys for hanging out. This was an unplanned kind of a thing, but I am excited to have been able to create this tonight. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope you will comment. I will go back and read the comments. And please do subscribe and share and all that stuff. And let's see. Here we go. We got that right there. Kathy Bohannon, Creatively Blessed. Please subscribe. And we have this right here. I do live crafting every Tuesday night at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Typically, it is all paper crafting, but y'all, I'm I go into a lot of different areas with my crafting. Sometimes I'm, well, I haven't done my sewing on video yet, but that may be coming in the future. Let's see what else I've got. Oh, okay. All right, that's it. So thanks so much, guys, for hanging out. I'm going to pop this up here real quick just to say thank you. God bless. And I so hope that you will share this. I'm trying to get monetized on YouTube, and they don't believe in you until you've had 1,000 subscribers, and I'm like 80 people away. I've been stuck there for months. So if you would be so kind as to share with your crafty friends, I would appreciate it. So God bless. Thank you for stopping in. And I love you guys. Toodles.